Making headlines recently is that James McAvoy reveals he drew inspiration for his latest film coming up, releasing September 13th, Speak No Evil.
No! What is wrong with you?
From none other than Andrew Tate. Now, this is a horror film and psychological thriller, and essentially, he is saying that there are characters or sides of Andrew Tate that helped him to literally deliver this role.
It's almost aggressive. It's almost aggression.
All right, so I watched the trailer, and let me just say, it's pretty riveting, okay? It goes from, this is a nice guy, to, oh my God, like scary, okay? If the trailer is any sense of what the movie is gonna be like, I gotta tell you, it is going to be good.
Anything you'd like to say?
Now, apparently, James based his Speak No Evil role on toxic masculinity. And if you don't know Andrew Tate, then you need to, has been infamous for being described as a misogynist, all right? Now, this is very interesting because let's define, first of all, what toxic masculinity is. According to Psychology Today, here are the traits of toxic masculinity.
I could probably still do that for a good 10 years, but I could calm down and live a very nice life.
Now, it's a result of a set strict rules that prescribes what a man should be like. And these toxic man rules include 1, a man should suffer physical and emotional pain in silence, meaning don't tell anybody. A man shouldn't seek warmth, comfort, or tenderness. A man should only have the emotions of bravery and anger. Any other emotions are weakness, and weakness is just absolutely unacceptable. A man shouldn't depend on anyone, so no one.
It's always been about having good people around you.
And asking for help is also considered weak. A man should always want to win, whether it's in sports, work, relationships, or in the bedroom. All right. And let's see what other views there are. According to Very Well Mind, basically the definition or the summary of toxic masculinity is that, men have to be tough. They should be physically strong, emotionally callous, and basically behaviorally aggressive. Like you go after what you want. You're territorial. It's also very anti-feminine. So men should reject traditional feminine behaviors such as showing any kind of emotions or accepting any kind of help. So that seems to be synonymous. And power. Men should work towards obtaining as much power and status, social and financial, and thus gain the respect of others. This is why he likely drew from, Andrew Tate, because he has publicly talked about the importance of power, being a man, like his definition of being a man. And, I'm not going to comment as to what Andrew Tate is saying now, because I think since his ban from social media platforms and his rise to, notoriety, a lot of social media platforms banned his content. It's still out there. You want to Google his videos. They're out there. There's no stopping it. He's actually become even more famous, whatever you want to call it, because of the fact that he has, this content. He has very strong views. Now, personally, I kind of agree with a majority of his dating advice. His business advice, however, the mindset advice that aside from, not being emotional and all of the things that are prescribed for toxic masculinity, he does talk about mental toughness. There are some merits to some of the coaching that he has when it comes to leadership and having that mental toughness and being a person, not of status, but being somebody who has a winning mindset. And I'm not talking about winning so that you can, run over people. So I will say that. Now, I don't know what, Andrew Tate has a lot of legal challenges on the way right now happening. We're not going to get into that. It's not great stuff. But James McAvoy obviously has used him for, I guess, role portrayal of this evil character. Doesn't start off as evil, but he's definitely sinister. And one of his quotes, let me just share some of his quotes here. He's like, I'm going to teach you what it's like to be a man again. But there's a sort of polite face on it, and it isn't quite Andrew Tate. Oh my goodness. He's like saying it's a softer version of Andrew Tate. Enough of a sheen of, I'm not one of those guys. Patty, which is the name of the character, is challenging. Do you have a big enough, to have a drink with me? Or, I'm sorry, this is too much for you because you're not real enough. So that definitely has a ringtone of Andrew Tate's teachings. You can find him talking about that, discussing toxic masculinity. I watched a video where this guy was interviewing people. Do you know Andrew Tate? Do you like him? Not like him? I would say 80% of the people said they don't like him. Why? 100% of them said because he's a misogynist. Again, this is not my personal view. This is what was being said. I think that he has said some useful things. Again, not in any way, shape, or form do I agree with any misogynistic or toxic masculinity beliefs that he talks about or shares or whatnot. However, some leadership stuff, sure. He has great confidence. I will say that. I'll always find, something nice to say about people. I am not going to say mean things, but I will say this. He's not very popular. All right. So it's interesting that he actually mentions Andrew Tate because that further puts Andrew on the map. So as, for someone who works in PR and media, we're talking about it right now, whether you're getting good press or bad press, people are talking about you. What do you guys think? Do you think that, let's watch the movie. I can't wait to see it September 13th. Now people will be thinking that Patty, they're going to be attaching this movie, the Speak No Evil trailer. You got to see that. We'll post the link in the description below. But what are your thoughts? What do you think about Andrew Tate? And would you draw inspiration for him for this character? Let's see.